Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. They are trying to convince us that there is no war between General Zaluzny and President Zelensky in Ukraine. But, events, actions, I think, prove and paint a different picture. So, the chief of the Pentagon, Mr. Austin, showed up unannounced to Kiev. Why? I don't know, but today is what? Today is the 20th. 4 days ago, the chief of the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, showed up in Kiev. Mr. Cameron, David Cameron, the new foreign minister or foreign secretary of Great Britain, showed up in Kiev first day of work. So I think this little events in such a short time span tells us or paint a different story. So let me show you some evidence here and then ask some questions. So I have 4 articles ready for you. The first one comes from Russia Today on the 20th of November 2023. Pentagon chief makes surprise visit to Kiev. Lloyd Austin has arrived in the Ukrainian capital to reaffirm, and I'm quoting, steadfast support amid concerns about U.S. military aid. So the military guy from the military-industrial complex, U.S. military-industrial complex, shows up in Kiev to tell them, don't worry about those idiots, elect officials in Washington, D.C. United States will keep doing what it does. The guy from the CIA showed up, said the same thing. What's going on here? Are there 2 states, the elected officials, which are in the pockets of, or the military-industrial complex together with intelligence services or community, they can like to tell us. So, another article, it's not this one, is this one, coming from Politico. And it says, from the same date of 20th of November 2023, U.S. Defense Secretary meets with Zelensky in Kiev to show steadfast support for Ukraine. It says in Kiev, Austin said Ukraine's effort to defeat Russia's invasion, and I'm quoting, matters to the rest of the world. That's a lie. And that U.S. support would continue for the long haul, he said. You can't just infer or suggest that matters for the rest of the world. You don't have the evidence to support that. Doesn't even matter if you want to look at it for Europe. But anyway, it matters in a certain extent, but not the way these guys want to portray it. Because when they say it matters, it's like an existential issue. It's not an existential issue. Yes, it matters if Europe grabs Ukraine or not, or Al Capone grabs Ukraine or not, or the Russians grab it, or stays in the middle. It matters. That's 3 changes, that's 3 scenarios. But when they talk about matters to the rest of the world, they imply existential threat. That is, if Russia wins in Ukraine, the whole world, your freedom, your life is done. The Russians will be at your door, knocking or kicking your door in and getting everything you got. All right? This is the story. No, that's a lie. Why? I don't buy it. I don't have the evidence provided by these guys to convince me that's the fact. When they provide it, I will, change my assessment. So that's another article. Let's go to the third article here. The Kiev Independent. U.S. Defense Secretary Austin makes unannounced visit to Ukraine. So this is the guy. This is, I think, the American ambassador now or something over there. I don't think she's the Ukrainian one. Let's see here a picture. And she's on his side right here. Now, just for you and I'm analyzing the picture. You see over here? You got one Jew, another one, you got a Tatar, you got an Ukrainian, I don't know what it is. All men. And then on the other side, you have this guy, you got 3 women. Definitely this group is weak right here. This group is weak, and this is the American group. And this is the guys who represent the Ukrainian nation. Facts don't care about your feelings. Remember that one? Yeah. So it's a fact, everything I said here. You don't like it? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to ban me? And that's the attitude. Now, we have these things. Now, look at this. On the 16th of November, I made this video where I said, U.S. prepares Zelensky's removal, ? CIA boss recently lands in Kiev to stop civil war in Ukraine. That's my assessment. Or give him something that he should not have. And I'm going to show you another one with David Cameron, when he shows up in that. So remember, David Cameron was the former Prime Minister of Great Britain. He quit because of the good job he did. Now he got rehired in the same team for how good he was. Now, if it is like you're a team and you don't make the team because you're weak, you don't have the skills, but then after a while, so you're fired or you quit because otherwise you will be fired, and then you are rehired in the same team on a different position, very close related to that one. So this was another video I made, and I'm calling corruption in UK versus Russia. Appointments versus elections. David Cameron hired, Suellen fired. And he, as I said, he shows up in Kiev with no problems. So where do you have the, let's call him foreign minister, foreign secretary of Great Britain, shows up in Kiev. The chief of CIA shows up in Kiev. The chief of Pentagon shows up in Kiev in a span of 5 days? But there's no infight between Zelensky and Zaluzny. You can say, well, there's no relations between these three and the war. How do you make that happen? Well, you have to understand that they got in a direct spat, public spat, Zaluzny and Zelensky, by having a total different take on what's going on the front. Remember, one is in charge of the military, the other guy is in charge of him. So the guy in the military, which is Zaluzny, gets his information from the field operations and all those guys inform him. And then from there it goes to Zelensky. So Zaluzny says it is a stalemate. This guy say no, it's not. Publicly. You don't know what you're talking about? No, you don't know what you're talking about. Not only that. He's Zaluzny's aide blows himself up with a grenade accidentally. I thought it was a sign, but in the real world, that's how you take it. In this kind of organizations, organized, that's how they give each other a warning. Then you got Zelensky wanting to change, I don't know if he already did, 3 commanders around Zaluzny. What is that? I think that was just a way to keep him away from the command. That is, when Zaluzny is going to bark an order, the guys underneath, new appointed by Zelensky, will not follow it. That's his isolation. He's going to be isolated. And then you got the defense minister, and then you got the intelligence services, or the SBU, secret police, I call it, in Ukraine. All those guys are Zelensky's people. Where is Klitschko? Where is Klitschko? Remember, Klitschko is the mayor of Kiev. He was very popular up to a point where it was decided he should not appear anymore. No articles about Klitschko, even when Kiev is bombarded by the Russians. You got the Kiev military administration guy showing up and telling us a few weasel words. No more, Klitschko showing up on the streets and with the people surrounded and helping. No. Why? He was too popular. Remember last year, I think it was summer, when Zaluzny came out the first time and the last time, when he said, well, I need 500 tanks in order to conduct a counteroffensive against the Russians. Remember? And he said, we need this, we need that. Zelensky jumped on him and said, shut the hell up, you don't come and make statements. And Zaluzny said, okay, well, I'm just going to be focused on defending the country. I'm not going to make any more statements because it seems like it's a popularity contest here. And it is. Zelensky's public relations apparatus works on that. So they try to push everybody but Zelensky, like he's the savior of this universe. And they tried to portray him that way because Austin said that what happens in Ukraine affects everybody else in the world. So we have to help this defender of truth and the tough guy, the comedian. All right. So I can go on and go on providing you evidence why this guy Zelensky is, I think, the target of Zelensky. And Zelensky consolidates his power by firing different individuals and appointing new ones. Probably loyal to him, I'm just guessing. So, and I don't hear Zelensky doing the same thing. And Zelensky challenged Zelensky and is the only one who actually has the guns. He's the only one who has the guns and can come to Kiev and tell Zelensky, get out right now. But he's going to be probably moving away with an American helicopter before Zelensky gets over there. But Zelensky can boom him if he wants. So it's tricky. They have to be in the same team, you know, the same row. And it seems like they're not. Why? Because I think the General Zelensky, the Ukrainian, he's the one who realizes that his nation gets decimated at the orders of an imbecile working for Al Capone and others. And Al Capone works for other interests, which is money and power. And Al Capone would not be over there without that. Remember Al Capone, the real Al Capone? Remember how he got screwed up? With tax evasion, not with crimes, with no, tax evasion. By whom? By whom? By the government. Who was behind the government? It was about money. So you see, he was not convicted because he committed crimes or, you know, mass murder or anything like that. No, tax evasion. He didn't pay the man. And the man is not the US government. He's not Al Capone. Al Capone in our real world right now. Al Capone is somewhere behind Al Capone. Who are those guys with money and guns? Financial interest, military-industrial complex, intelligence services. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.